Take a moment to imagine this. You're holding a 500 Indian rupees note. You glance at it, but instead of the familiar face of Mahatma Gandhi, round glasses, calm smile, you see Bhagat Singh. The hat, the intense eyes, the unmistakable defiance. It's subtle, but suddenly, everything feels different. Why does this matter? Because currency isn't just about value. It's about identity. It's a mirror we carry in our pockets every single day. The face on a note doesn't just symbolize a leader, it reflects the soul of a nation. It tells us who we admire, what we cherish, and what kind of legacy we want to pass on. So what if India had chosen Bhagat Singh over Gandhi? What kind of message would that send, not just to the world, but to Indians themselves? Let's begin by remembering, Bhagat Singh was only 23 when he was hanged. But in that short life, he managed to shake the foundations of an empire. He was bold, unapologetic, and incredibly thoughtful, a revolutionary not just in action, but in intellect. He questioned everything: colonialism, blind faith, inequality, even nationalism that wasn't rooted in justice. He was not a man of slogans. He was a man of ideas. Now imagine that face and those ideas on every single rupee note in India. The first shift would be symbolic. Gandhi represents patience, nonviolence, endurance. Bhagat Singh represents urgency, courage, resistance. One stands for soul force, the other for sacrifice and struggle. If Bhagat Singh had been the chosen face of Indian currency, India may have grown up telling itself a slightly different story. Every child would grow up learning Bhagat Singh's story, not as a footnote, but as a core part of our identity. His jail letters would be read in school assemblies. His words on freedom and reason would shape our values. Being Indian would mean not just being peaceful, but bold, principled, and passionate. This isn't about replacing one hero with another. Gandhi and Bhagat Singh weren't rivals, just two different minds chasing the same dream. One believed in silence, the other in sound. Both had different paths, but both helped make India free. So when we choose one face on our money, we're not disrespecting the other. We're simply choosing a tone for our national self-image. A Gandhi-centric identity tells us to seek harmony, to forgive, to take the long view. A Bhagat Singh-centric identity might have encouraged us to be more questioning, more restless, more intolerant of injustice. Perhaps the public would be quicker to protest corruption. Maybe we'd see more political engagement at younger ages. Maybe students would be louder. Maybe the media would be bolder. But there's another side to it. That fiery spirit, while powerful, can be risky. A nation driven by revolution needs compassion to stay steady. Too much focus on sacrifice without patience can turn inward. Maybe that's why Gandhi became the chosen face, a calmer, unifying symbol for a country healing after partition. But what if the country was ready for both? What if, and this is the real question, India had celebrated Bhagat Singh and Gandhi equally, not in textbooks, but in national symbols? One on the currency, one on official seals, one representing conscience, the other, courage. Would that have helped us become a more balanced nation, one that listens before it fights, but also fights when it must? Because there are times when silence is strength, and there are times when silence is surrender. Gandhi taught us the power of peace. Bhagat Singh reminded us that peace must be earned. This shift, from Gandhi's face to Bhagat Singh's, isn't just about a photograph. It would have nudged the tone of our democracy. Instead of quiet dignity as the baseline, we may have had a culture of bold debate. Our national debates might have embraced sharper edges, bolder reforms, and quicker decisions. Our politics could have been more youth-driven. Our collective memory of freedom might have been more radical. There's a chance we'd have normalized activism, not just ballot box democracy. Perhaps we'd have even seen more demands for structural change, caste reform, labor rights, secularism, all of which Bhagat Singh cared deeply about. Of course, there's no perfect symbol, no perfect leader. and no single face can carry the weight of a billion dreams. But in this thought experiment, we're not replacing Gandhi. We're reflecting on the India that could have been if we had chosen revolution, not restraint, as our default identity. An India that honored not just the light of truth, but the fire of justice. Would that India be more chaotic? Possibly. More awakened? Maybe. More impatient? Probably. But also, perhaps, more fearless. And so we ask, not to judge the past, but to understand the present. What would it mean for a generation to grow up handling currency that reminds them every day? Resistance is noble, sacrifice is sacred, and silence is not always a virtue. Maybe one day, we'll see both faces, one on each side of the same note. Because India was not built by one idea, it was built by many. And maybe that's the real legacy we should be carrying in our pockets. If this thought made you reflect, tell us what you think. Should Bhagat Singh be featured on Indian currency? What would that change? Let us know in the comments. If you found this episode intriguing, share it, like it, and subscribe to Reimagine History, where we explore the futures that never happened, but maybe could have. See you in the next timeline.